Check it out on the site wordcount.org. Here, if you type the word attempt in the search box, you will get the frequency ranking of 882. This shows that the word attempt does belong to the group of the 3,000 most common words. The logic here is simple. The words that appear more frequently should be more common. Obviously, doing this way is really hard, and there's a much better way, the free reading technique. Here's what you're going to do. Firstly, you need to prepare some tool for you to quickly check word meaning. A favorite tool of mine is Click and See. I use it to see the meaning of a word in just one click. Or you can use any kind of dictionary software you want. But you want to make sure that you use something to check the meaning very quickly. So don't use a regular book version of a dictionary because it will slow down your reading speed. Now that you're ready, let's start to read from the beginning. Every time you face a new word, or a word whose meaning you don't remember, use your dictionary software to check its meaning quickly and then continue to read. Here are the big don'ts when you're reading. Don't take note of any word, including new words, difficult words, long words, complicated words. Just don't take any note. Don't force yourself to remember any word. And finally, don't underline or bold any word. Again, don't take any note. Just read. Check the meaning of any word you want to and do nothing else. Then you want to read as fast as possible. Read as fast as possible. After reading a few sentences, maybe just one or two sentences, you might see a certain word that you have just checked the meaning of a minute before. However, you might not remember its meaning because you didn't take note. Well, no problem. Just relax. Go ahead and check its meaning again using your software. Then continue to read. You will likely see that word again and you may still not remember its meaning. Just use your dictionary software again and continue to read. Well, after seeing a certain word 3-4 times and checking its meaning over and over again, I'm sure you remember it the next time you see it. And then, guess what happens? You have learned a word from the core vocabulary. Here's the key. Those words that you have seen over and over again are the most common words. The methodology here is very simple. The most common words must show up repeatedly. After reading a long piece, you will forget many words and retain some words. Those that you forget are uncommon words. Those that you retain are common. Now, you might be wondering why such a simple technique could be so powerful. Let me explain. I call it the art of simplicity. Firstly, the free reading technique naturally drives your focus to the most common words and phrases. And at the same time, it helps you save time by not making you struggle with the uncommon ones. Secondly, following this technique, you don't need to force yourself to memorize vocabulary. You naturally retain vocabulary because you see a certain word over and over again. And more importantly, you see that word in various contexts and in different sentence structures. This helps you understand the real meaning of that word and gives you a sense of it. Sometimes you find that a certain word usually occurs prior to or after another word. This helps you remember how to use it in combination with another word. Thirdly, this technique allows you to freely choose any content you want to use as your reading materials. Remember that you retain much more easily the information that you care about, that you're interested in. Whether you are interested in science or art, entrepreneurship or stock exchange, you'll find tons of reading material on the internet. This will keep you excited every time you sit down to study. You will no longer feel tired and bored. Every time you find a phrase or structure repeated over and over again, you achieve something, and this motivates you to learn more. You don't have to force yourself to think or memorize. You just learn it in a painless way. Most of my students tell me that they could learn for hours using my technique without getting tired. This is very important for you to learn a new language quickly. And your next question might be, what type of material should I use to practice? To this question, I strongly recommend using forums. Why? Firstly, because you can easily search a forum that you are interested in. For example, if you want to open your own business, you can search forums discussing about entrepreneurs. Secondly, forum is easier for you to start comparing with newspapers or books. Thirdly, in forums, people use daily conversation style, and it is in favor of your listening and speaking skills. And the last but not least, in forums, you're free to post your comments or replies. And by doing so, you really get involved in the communication process. Now that I've shared with you the method that you can use to access to the core vocabulary, the very important factor that will help you be able to hear, understand, and speak in English. This method is simple, but it's powerful. I used it myself, and later on, my students have used it to overcome the English obstacles. Now, there are some notes for you when practicing this method. Firstly, you've got to do exactly what I've told you. Don't do it yourself. Don't do it your own way. Sometimes when you practice this method, you may not understand a certain word or sentence even after checking its meaning. It is fine. It is fine, because a dictionary can't help you understand everything. I know that in that case, what you should do is just go ahead and ignore that sentence. I know this feeling is a little bit uncomfortable because normally we will be tempted to understand the whole content, but you need to adapt to this feeling, because our purpose here is not to understand the whole content, but to collect the most common words. And thirdly, as you start reading the first page, your reading speed will be very slow, and you may have to check your dictionary too frequently. In my experience, it may take you hours to read and understand the very first lines if your vocabulary is few. And then you would feel a little bit tired and frustrated. It is okay. What you should do then is to take a break and relax before coming back. Then if you continue to read the next page, you will find that you have to check your dictionary much less frequently. And your reading speed will increase dramatically after the very first few pages. But, you know, unfortunately, not many learners know this. Most of them quit too early without knowing that success is waiting for them right around the corner. And finally, you've learned that it took me almost 4 years to figure out this method, and it now takes you 4 minutes to get it. Now I want to give you 2 more numbers. If you spend 40 minutes every day with this method, continuously in 4 months, let me repeat, 40 minutes every day, continuously in 4 months, you will have enough words to be able to speak as I'm doing right now. I guarantee that. Okay, I hope you find it useful. Thank you so much for watching my video. I will send you another video soon. Don't forget to share this one with your friends and your beloveds. But until then, take action. Do something today to improve your English. Because if you want to shine tomorrow, you've got to sparkle today.